Hi everyone, welcome to my show Fit for Expecting. You may already know me, my name's Shantelle, and today I've got a wonderful guest with me. Her name is Sozan. She's not only a colleague of mine, but she's also a really good friend and also a lovely person. So I'm really excited for you to meet her. We've also got her little one, baby Alva, with us today, which is a baby you can hear crying in the background. Sozan, do you just want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a mom of 3 children. I've got 12-year-old Adlan who's in secondary school, and I've got a boy who's 5 years old, and I've got a 6-month-old baby, Alva. And also I work as a midwife. I've been working for qualified for 4 years now, and I would like to kind of talk about a bit of my motherhood experience as a mom, not just as a midwife, but also as a mother going through obviously pregnancy and childbirth. So yeah,
I really wanted to have Sozan on the show because obviously you're able to give 2 sides to you know what I'm going to be talking about. Obviously the perspective from a midwife, which is me, and also the perspective from a mother's point of view as well.
Right,
and I think one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about was just how do you find it when it comes to fitness or keeping healthy during your pregnancies. Like, how have you found it? I've noticed, like, on your social media, I've seen you doing a few walks recently, and I thought, oh my god, that's great, like taking babies to walk and doing the school run rather than driving, stuff like that. How do you feel that you incorporate, like, you know, fitness, life, exercise into your like day-to-day routine at the moment, being on maternity leave?
So when I had my first child, this is where I started having weight gain issues. So obviously 12 years ago I had my first, and I didn't really have much knowledge or background about midwifery then, so I was just feeling, as a mom, you know, you start just, you know, enjoying your pregnancy, then having your baby, you don't really focus so much on weight. But then it became a problem after my first child. I started gaining a lot of weight, and from size 10 to 12 I went up to 14, 16. So then I had a big gap between my second child because I had 2 miscarriages. So I felt like the whole time my body wasn't really recovering. I was going through pregnancy, having a miscarriage, obviously having another miscarriage, which was very disappointing, to be honest. And
did you have much like advice around like weight gain in pregnancy, like at the time, or did you recognize yourself that you was actually putting weight on, or that was you eating differently, or was there like a health issue that you found that you know?
It was more I think I didn't have any problems before my first pregnancy, but it became an issue after. So I did obviously visit my GP, ask my midwife, and I did search around, you know, healthy eating, lifestyle changes, and I was working on it, but it was up and down, up and down. It wasn't I was never really happy with my weight. But through these years, I would say that I have developed a healthy lifestyle. So if obviously I started doing an access course. I had one child at the time, then carried on working and studying, and it became a very difficult thing to kind of maintain that lifestyle. So I carried on. Sorry. It's trying to eat me. I carried on going back on the cycle, I would say. So every time I was coming off the cycle, I went back on it, started healthy eating again and exercising.
That's what a lot of people, I think, they struggle, don't they? You know, they start dieting or start exercising, get on this healthy lifestyle, and then sort of it's quite easy to fall off it.
That's
and then you've got to just find something that brings you back to it. So what did you find that brought it back for you?
I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, underactive thyroid, 5 years ago, prior to my having my second child, and that obviously made sense why I was putting on weight so easily, because even though I was following a healthy lifestyle, you know, sticking to a gym membership and everything, I was still not losing the weight, you know, the amount of weight I wanted. So then I had to take this seriously because it was becoming a health issue, and I started doing a lot of exercise, walking, cycling to university at the time.
Really?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know
this with my friend, and slowly, it's about trying, also enjoying your life, but trying
to just incorporate it into your everyday.
That's right. Yes. But since I had my third child, prior to pregnancy, I tried to be healthy. And when I was pregnant, I tried to maintain that healthy diet and exercise.
Did you know the importance of being healthy, like during pregnancy and before pregnancy, this time round, because of being a midwife?
It does make the difference. You know, to my knowledge, it became more as a concern in future. So we see a lot of obese women coming through our doors at the hospital, and we see the complications and what women go through for just being overweight. Nearly about 20% of all pregnant women are obese in the UK, and half of these women at booking are overweight or obese, and
it's almost
a major
becoming
problem.
the norm, isn't it?
That's right.
You know,
yes.
It's. I feel like we as health professionals are sometimes we tiptoe around the fact that, you know, women do have these health issues that are weight related, because I think we're just scared to like offend, and we don't want to like ruin the rapport that we're building with women straight away by mentioning a weight and offending.
That's right.
So it's quite hard, but you know, there's so many other things in our profession which we're not afraid to say, you know, like, for example, smoking, the risks around that. We're not afraid to tell women. So the risk for having a mum that is actually overweight with a high BMI, the risks that are involved with that are like just as bad as someone that is smoking, or some of them are, you know, even worse. So I'm just trying to figure out how we can actually get around that and actually not be afraid to talk to women, and for women not to feel that, oh, actually we're trying to make you feel like you know you've got a health issue, but instead making them aware that actually we're telling you this for the health of you and of your baby.
That's right. Yes, it's very important, because we see women going through pregnancies, and most of these women will gain weight while being pregnant. I mean, it's something that you can avoid by just eating healthy. We don't advise women to diet while they are pregnant, but just maintain that healthy diet instead of eating for two. You don't have to eat for two.
All the most women everyone thinks.
I mean, even partners. I've had so many partners saying, "Oh, you're pregnant, eat as much as you want." And you've seen women in labour, obviously, if they are low risk and they're allowed to eat, you see how much junk food they get into the delivery room. We obviously have the. When you have that health issue background, you think, oh my God, this is really bad, you know. And if you carry on while you had your baby, you're gonna obviously it's a chance where you can put on a lot of weight while postnatally, whilst you had your baby, and then it becomes an issue. Then it's hard to lose the weight, and it's best to start pre-pregnancy. I would advise pre-pregnancy, have a healthy diet and exercise, healthy weight before you get pregnant. Then when you get pregnant, then you carry on eating healthily. You only need about 200 to 500 calories per day, starting from second trimester. Even in the first trimester, you don't need added calories. You eat your normal diet. But as soon as women get pregnant, most women think that they are allowed to eat as much as they want because they have a baby on board.
Obviously, the issue for us as midwives, we're seeing women once they're already pregnant, so it's kind of a bit like, okay, we want women to know this before, which is why we're doing the show. We want women to know this before they actually start, but we have the advantage that once we're seeing women in a pregnancy, actually you can change your lifestyle habits during pregnancy, and it doesn't mean, like you said, it doesn't mean dieting, we're not saying that, but you know, changing the way you eat, just choosing healthier options. As a family, sometimes it works better, and then it just becomes the norm. And obviously we're then seeing these women that are coming back to have more future pregnancies. So changing, even if it's from the first pregnancy, second, whenever it is, if it's making a change to women, and they're like it will impact regardless, won't it? So
I mean, there are a lot of complications when you are overweight. I mean, it increases your risk of blood clot, diabetes, gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, just becoming immobile, and
bleeding after
delivery. There are so many risks. And also when women go into labor, if they are obese, there is risk of obviously problem doing epidural, or the pain relief might not work because you are overweight. And there are so many issues that people don't realize. So it's very important to tell women out there, just before you even think about having a baby, to have a healthy diet and exercise. I mean, what I do, when I work, I always count my steps. I try and go up.
We all do that. We're all obsessed at counting steps.
It's very good because since I started work, I truly have lost a lot of weight and tried to maintain a healthy diet and obviously exercise. And exercise doesn't have to be in the gym. You can do it at your work. You can do it at home.
Incorporate it into just your everyday life. Like you said, like I'm saying, I'm seeing you doing these walks with Alva.
I started. I had. For some time in your life, you have to have a wake-up call. Where you think, okay, I'll start next week. I'll start next month. It doesn't really work like that. Start from today. I mean, this is what I did. In the summer, we had family around, and it was very difficult for me to diet or to have a healthy diet because I had so much family around. We had so much barbecue, gathering as a family, eating dinners, staying up till late because I'm on maternity leave. Obviously, I don't have to think about work, so everybody was up watching movies, eating, whatever. So
the temptation,
the temptation was there, and it was really hard. But when school started, I said this is the time for me and my family to start a healthy diet. So I started, doing meal plans on a weekly basis. So I know what I'm buying when I go to the supermarket.
You've got to be organised. This is the thing. You've
meal
got
planning,
to be planning
what you buy when you go shopping, so you don't buy a lot of junk food or just bad food, to be honest. Just shopping the right food.
That's what a lot of people's biggest issue is really, is like we say, is time. So they'll go out and they'll without preparing. I'm guilty of it myself. I do a lot of nights, so I try and cook corners all the time because I'm just I'm so tired all the time. But you've got to be prepared, you've got to be organised, you've got to plan. And although it seems like really hard in the beginning, I do hear from other people that when other people tell me, if you are organised and you just change your lifestyle, it just becomes the norm for you. So it doesn't feel like an effort, it's just second nature.
That's right. And exercising, I would say most people find it very difficult. They think, okay, I don't have time to go to the gym. I have a baby, I have children, there is no childcare. It's not about going to the gym. It's about your daily exercise. It's about housework in the house, or it could be just getting off the bus to bus stops and walking. I obviously my son, my eldest, was going to secondary school last year. He started for the first time, and he to go by bus he would have to catch 2 buses. So we instead were dropping and taking him to and from school, driving. But then this year from September I decided that I'm not doing this anymore. We have to work together. We have to start working together.
So it's changing things as a family together, isn't it? And
so we start, in the morning we both wake up early, we walk to the school. It's about 40 minutes walk, and we've got up hills, downhill. It's
good for kids as well. It's important that they understand that, obviously that they are our next upcoming generation. We need to make sure that they find that exercise is normal. Doing daily activities is normal. Walking is normal. I'm very guilty of avoiding walking because I'm doing my best to change that.
That's right. Yes.
But so what would be if you wanted to use this opportunity to tell women one thing around this topic, what would it be? What do you feel like? What's the most important thing to you that you'd want to let women know?
I would say be organised. Have a when you go shopping, make a plan on a weekly basis what you need. Don't buy a lot of junk food, or obviously you do this for yourself and your children, because you're raising healthy children at the end of it. Walk if you can instead of taking the bus or car. Obviously it depends how far you have to walk, but your walking is the best thing you can do to help your family and yourself. You don't have to always stop yourself from thinking about, don't find excuses. Don't say, I can't do this because I have no childcare. I can't do this because
everybody finds excuses, don't they?
Yeah.
And what would be like your biggest warning message, that if you like, just to sort of raise awareness around? What do you feel like you'd want women to know? In terms of having a raised BMI, what do we see as midwives? What is it that worries you the most, or what do you want women to feel most concerned about?
We should be concerned about our weight, because when you're overweight, then you're raising overweight children, and it becomes an issue.
Cycle.
So it all starts from the parents, mom and dad both work together, walk together, go swimming together. Everything you do it as a family. And this way, you're not going to be bored. You're still having a social life. You're still enjoying it as a family. I mean, we have a day in a week where we go all the family swimming together, or we go walks to the park. You don't have to say, I'm taking the kids out to somewhere. Obviously, you pay a lot of money to go to a theme park. Or, you can do that. You can implement it in your daily life, and this way you're gonna raise a healthy family, a happy family, and be organized. Be organized about everything you do. Have meal plans. If you are very busy, your lifestyle is very hectic, go back on the cycle. Don't give up. But a cycle to me is very important, because you carry on. You for example, this week you had a very busy week. You had very bad food because you didn't have time to cook for the children. Next week you tell yourself that you can do better. So you start preparing meals and buying healthy food from the supermarket, and buying for the whole week if possible, instead of going to the shop.
I'm
something
very guilty of buying on a daily basis. I'm at my local Tesco pretty much every day of the week, but it's bad obviously for money.
I have done this before, to be honest. I am honest about this. I've had times in my life where I was very busy, my partner was very busy, we didn't really have time, and we had to get the takeaway for the kids. But it happens, and
it's quite easy.
It's important to do it again, all over again. And and I'm still working on my weight. I'm still trying to lose weight and get to my target, but I'm gonna do it, not in a rush, because after a woman gives birth, it takes time for the body to come, to recover. So allow yourself time, allow yourself, obviously rest, make sure your body rests, but at the same time, slowly maintain that exercise. If you walk 20 minutes each day, when you're ready, increase it to 30 minutes, increase it to 40 minutes. It's just a slow,
gradual change. Nobody's saying that, you've got to,
And you get used to it. I got used to walking. I used to be scared of, if somebody told me they were walking this many distance, I was saying, oh, how could you do it? It's hard. It's difficult, but it's not. You get used to it. Anything you get used to it. I mean, even cutting down on calories, you start to get used to it, and you actually become very happy, because it not only physically helps you, it's also mentally. It's so important for pregnant women. It avoids them from becoming depressed while being pregnant and after having the baby, because the risk is higher of becoming
increased,
getting postnatal depression. If you have a healthy diet and exercise, and healthy weight, you are a much happier mom.
Definitely.
And breastfeeding is very important. I would say I would encourage every mom to express if they can't breastfeed, if they have any issues. But breastfeeding is very, very important. You lose weight while you breastfeed, and most people would know about the benefits to mom and baby. So this is the kind of things, every little change will make a difference.
Sozan, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on, and also baby Alva, of course, he's made his voice heard.
Thank you for inviting me,
and thank you guys for watching. Take care, see you soon.
Bye.